What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video. This time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's late night daily rap video, where he continues to beat down the notion that he needs support and he needs tips. As you guys know, if you guys watched any of the videos yesterday, our boy Phil had a terrible day, both the first and the second stream. I think he managed to pull in 50 bucks in total for tips for those two streams together. No tier 1 tip goal, no hat, no vest, no nothing. He did make out pretty good with memberships, but of course our boy Phil, can't, he needs it all. He needs tips, super chats, super thanks, and tips. He needs it all. He needs it all. So he spent a good deal of his time yesterday begging. That's straight up begging. And I want to hear what he has to say on the daily rap.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the daily rap for what was Sunday, the 22nd of January.
By the way, his video was actually about 15 minutes, so I sped it up a little bit to save you guys some time. And he always does that. Whenever he has low tips or low support, his daily rap is always going to be extra long.
2023, a day that was fun, awesome, with great accomplishments, and honestly a little bit of disappointment as well. But let's get into it, shall we? That's what it's all about, being honest, but also having ups and downs. So we started off today with a level 1 podcast where I followed up a little bit on my thoughts about using YouTube Shorts every day. It was actually a pretty fun discussion because the YouTube Shorts recently have actually been doing pretty good with the ones that I put out in the last week. And so implementing those and seeing how they're doing has been pretty positive for the channel, I feel. I put out another one this morning, and that one was a Warzone highlight, and it's done pretty good. As of now, it's been out just under 11 hours and has almost 2,000 views and climbing, which is good for the channel, obviously, if people are engaged with these shorts. So that's a good thing. In addition, we talked about how chaotic Warzone was the night before and how crazy it was, and I recommended that people would check out those videos because so much crazy stuff happened. Taking a look at them, not many people have. So it's kind of a mix. Like, the shorts are doing good, and I'm happy about that. The overall video views are not doing good, but it's probably because right now things are quite stagnant. I mean, the new game I'm playing is a JRPG, which I knew was not going to get a big amount of attention. And the other game I'm playing that's relatively new is a Game Pass survival horror game. Again, nothing with major mainstream attention. That will change shortly this coming Friday with the new game coming out, which we'll talk about in a couple moments here. So, overall, things are going pretty good. Had a more chill level 1 podcast. And then, near the end of the podcast, a ginormous amount of memberships were gifted to the channel. Over 60. That skyrocketed us towards our membership goal for the month of 600 members. We went from low 500s to 592 members. Damn, that was awesome. Great positive movement. Almost there, locking in that Super Bowl Saturday marathon-style event that I wanted to do. So, then we started playing Signalis. And here's where some of the negatives come in. As I started to play Signalis, immediately attendance dwindled. Immediately people disengaged, stopped really interacting and talking with me. I felt like I was playing the game by myself for half the stream, which is not good. Literally, support stopped. 0. The only person who really supported the Signalis stream was the usual 1 Minute Man, who does a tip every major stream every day, no matter what I'm playing. I think outside of that, I got $2. Basically, people don't like this game. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little upsetting. You want to know why? Because I actually wanted to play Resident Evil 0. I'm just going to be real with all of you. That's what I was planning on playing until people suggested, hey, don't do 2 Resident Evils in a row, that's overload. Instead, do this other game, that was an indie game that came out in the fall, that survival horror pretty good. Personally.
Alright, folks, so we got DSP here blaming his dents yet again for a crappy game. I know some people like it, and it's cool. If you guys like it, that's fine. I personally don't like it. I don't like that style of game. Yeah, it's just... And watching Phil makes it even more boring. If I were watching a good content creator that made it interesting, then maybe I'd dig it and watch it. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so it's free anyway. But Phil is just extra bored. So, you guys heard it. Our boy DSP is blaming his dents for choosing a game and, of course, not supporting.
I don't see any reason to hate Signalis. We'll talk about it because after today's gameplay, my opinion has changed a little bit about it. We'll talk about that in a second. Personally, I don't hate the game or whatever.
I love how his opinions of games change when the support isn't there.
But people ask me all the time, Phil, why don't you play more indie games? Signalis is the exact kind of reason why I don't play more indie games. I'm just being honest, okay? Despite the fact that there seemed to be a group of people who wanted to see it, now that I'm playing it, almost no one cares. Attendance dwindles, no engagement, no support. I might as well be sitting here and just talking what you guys do in Q&A. That does better. It really does, okay? However, I guarantee you, if I were playing Resident Evil 0, it would be different. Resident Evil 1 Remake that I just played did incredibly well. People showed up, engaged, supported, the views on YouTube were good, everything was great. I hate to say it, but when I play these indie games, they just don't get traction. I'm not some giant streamer where no matter what I play, people will come in droves to check it out. I'm not. I wish I was. I wish that I was like back in the day. I remember playing games over 10 years ago, games like the Disgaea franchise and stuff like that a lot of people in America didn't even know what they were, and I gave them some attention by playing them on YouTube. That's not the case anymore, all right? And I hate to say it, I think when it comes to deciding between games to play, and we have an option to play a more mainstream game, I might just have to play the mainstream game. We'll talk about this tomorrow on the Level 1 podcast in the morning. I want to have a discussion with all you guys about it, because I hate to say it, you know, I feel like Signalis is a dud. Not that the game, but basically the attention it's getting and the fact that I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time playing it when people are completely disengaged and not really caring about it, okay? I can't believe that I actually had the slowest, outside of those gifted memberships that happened on the Level 1 podcast, which is completely separate from Signalis. Once I started playing Signalis, that by far was the slowest stream I've had in years. That was slower than, like, the Mass Effect stream that I did, like, a year and a half ago that had no support. It was that slow. I don't even know what to say. It was a good game. I was having a good time with it. I was frustrated by the end, and again, we'll talk about that in a second.
This is what's frustrating for me, is our boy Phil here, he runs a business, right? He runs a business, like he calls it, right? And essentially, most businesses, you know, they look at the totality of their business for the day. I mean, not even for the day, really. Maybe weekly, monthly, or yearly. I mean, or quarterly, right? Our boy Phil, when it's convenient for him, he looks at his business section by day. So essentially, he looks at the pre-stream podcast, whatever support he gets there, and then whatever support he gets on the first stream, and then what he gets on the second stream. When honestly, Phil, if you're going to be doing that, you should be doing the whole day. So essentially, if you get $20 on your whatever podcast, and you get $20 on, you know, your first stream, right? And then let's say you make $300 on your last stream. In totality, you made $340. So you made $340 for the day, which is pretty good in tips. But you don't do that because you like to segment it and then complain about a specific piece or a specific avenue. So if you don't get money on the first stream, you bitch and complain and basically say you had no support. And then if the same thing happens on the night stream, you do the exact same thing. When you really should be looking at your totals, you should be looking at your whole day. And honestly, you really shouldn't even be looking at your whole day. You should be looking at it maybe weekly or monthly and doing kind of a review and saying to yourself, okay, how much support did I get? And so on. You doing this, and I know why you do it. Because most people live paycheck to paycheck. You live tip to tip. And every single tip is important. And if you don't get, that $100 plus per stream, you have a panic attack because, you're not going to have enough money. You're not going to have enough spending money to waste on the bullshit that you spend your money on every day. And we all know what that is.
But the fact that the stream kind of died the second I started playing the game is sad. People don't want to give indie games a chance. And that's not fair, I feel, because some of these indie games are great. I think Signalis actually is a survival horror game that should be given a chance. It's on Game Pass, but why people won't watch it on DSP Gaming, I don't understand. Anyway, so Signalis, let's talk about it. All right, today, with the 3-hour stream that I did, why did I do it as a 3-hour stream? Because we need to finish this game in time for the Dead Space remake coming out on Friday. I don't want to be playing 2 survival horror games at once. We basically finished up the whole area that's more traditionally like Resident Evil, meaning it's like living quarters, parts of a building that are running with power and things, solving puzzles and the like. And after we got through that part, the game kind of went off the rails. We turned into almost more psychological horror. And next thing you know, I'm not shitting you, we're in Silent Hill. We're now in a part of the game that's like Silent Hill. There's cells, there's corrupted, deformed creatures that I can't even explain, there's pulsating flesh on the walls. It doesn't make any sense. The game hasn't explained it yet, maybe it will, but obviously, this is not logically what was going on for the rest of the game. Something crazy is going on in Signalis. But my audience didn't care. I was interested in what was going on, but my audience didn't care. Now, at the same time, one thing that actually happened that's pissing me off, what they tried to do now, I don't know if they thought that it was going to be scary. It's not. They disabled the map. So up to this point, I'm playing 5, 6, 7 hours into the game. The map is a critical part of the gameplay. You're able to map out where you are, tell where you are in relation to the other rooms. You can look at the map. Okay, plan out. I'm going to backtrack over here and here. This is a critical part of gameplay in Resident Evil, that you can plan out where you're going. Hell, even Silent Hill has maps that you plan out where you're going. They decided once you get to this area of the game, no map. Just done. No more map. So now I'm going to...
Apparently they wanted to challenge you, Phil, and that's what games are about. Games are about fun. They're about being challenged. And not you though. You just want walking simulator and just being held, having your hand held. And whenever you come to any difficulty in games, you freak out and panic and you start spazzing like you're doing now.
Circles and trying to figure stuff out. The puzzles are incredibly cryptic to the point where you don't know what's used where. Earlier in the game it was like, oh, you found the eagle door. Well, now you know you need an eagle key. No, not anymore. Now I found 2 rings. I found a bunch of octagonal plates I don't know what to do with. I got all this shit in my inventory. I don't know what it is. And it's frustrating. Essentially what they tried to do is overcomplicate the end of the game, likely to ramp up the difficulty, but it doesn't make it more difficult. It makes it more annoying. It makes it frustrating for the gamer, and I feel they did a poor job with this particular segment of the game I'm in. Maybe that's why my viewers disengaged so much, but man, it's fucking frustrating. Going through a part of the game where I liked the game up to this point, and the moment this happened, no map, cryptic things going on, no idea, no clues, not even the names of the items make sense anymore. That's when you're like, okay, this went off the rails. What do you want me to do? Look up every piece of the game now? I don't want to do that. I enjoy kind of exploring it and figuring it out for myself, but even then, what is this going to be, a 40-hour playthrough because I can't figure it out? Obviously, there's a problem here, all right? Now, at this point, I'm about, 7-8 hours into Signalis, okay? When I play it again on Tuesday as the main stream, I wonder if I'll beat it, because people were basically saying that the game's around 10 hours long, unless you take a little extra time to read everything, if you do more side content, if you get lost and die a bunch. I don't know. Right now, I am kind of getting lost and going in circles. I don't feel like I'm making constant progress. I'm trying to figure out what to do. So, I don't know if we're going to beat it on Tuesday or not. I honestly hope we would. Because it's obvious from today's stream, my audience is completely disengaged from this game and doesn't really care about it. I'd rather do stuff you care about. So, I would hope we beat it on Tuesday. I guess we're going to see. Alright? But it was such a weird mix and a bittersweet stream. Because like I said, on the pre-stream with the Level 1 podcast, we hit the members goal for the month. And everything was positive. And then the moment I started playing the actual game, nobody cared. It was like I was here by myself. That was sad, and I was actually pretty disappointed. Alright? Now on tonight's late stream. It was the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And here I am hoping, let's make up for that dead stream earlier today. I will tell you this. We had more viewers, more engagement, and more fun tonight on the late stream with Elder Scrolls than we did with Signalis, for sure. Okay? Excuse me. We also got a pretty good amount of support, because guess what? On the late stream, thanks to memberships and gifted memberships, we hit the members goal. So it's official, 100%. Come February 11th it actually is, Saturday, I'm doing a special Super Bowl Saturday Bash Marathon event. We will begin to talk now about those details starting on tomorrow's Level 1 podcast. We'll start hashing them out. I'll get people's ideas for things that I should do and not do on that stream. What's the best ideas? What games should I play? What items should I get to mess around with? You know what I mean? Well, now that it's locked in, we can actually have those discussions. So that's great. I was very happy about that, okay? But again, outside of that, it wasn't a terrible stream, but it was pretty slow, especially for Oblivion, where previously on Oblivion streams, we were hitting the hat goal. I was wearing the Luffy hat and everything on Oblivion streams. I think we made like $30 in super chats and $20 in tips, and that was it, all right? But overall, when you factor in those memberships, it's great. So today was essentially Membership Palooza. Hit the members goal, locking in the event, great victory with that, and actually I had a lot of fun tonight playing Oblivion with you guys. But overall, outside of that, Signalis kind of fizzled out. People don't seem to like it anymore, which is unfortunate, because I really wanted to play Resident Evil 0 again, which I didn't, because you guys voted for Signalis.
I love the passive aggressiveness. He reminds me of another locale named Pasturd Eric, with his passive aggressiveness. Way to blame your audience there, Phil. Don't take any onus for choosing a crappy game and playing it extremely crappy. I think if you played it a little bit better, then maybe it might be more interesting. But it doesn't hold weight, especially being the fact that Oblivion got no support either. I think the problem is you, Phil, and I also think the problem is that you don't understand the concept of income and budgets, and you then just don't have, they don't have a whale of money. Like, they just can't whip out money for every single stream. So you remember was it your Warzone was the day before? Or you got about 160 bucks or whatever in tips. Most events just can't support your lifestyle, Phil, every single time. And you just need to shut up about it and just be thankful for what you got, and you move on. Just be thankful that you got your whales like Emil and OIC, that, and game, whatever, Team Game Ico, whoever the hell that is. Just be happy you got your 4 or 5 dents that come out, your whales, and essentially prop up your dead ass channel. So Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. By the way, I'm actually going to be posting I'm going to be doing a premiere at 11 where I actually did a quick compilation of every single time Phil begged or complained about support yesterday. And it was a lot of times. Peace out.